What did good old Bojo mean when he said protect the NHS? Hello and welcome to Queendom TV. Today I'm going to be talking about why our good old friend Boris Johnson, I don't know why I'm calling him our good old friend, but Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, kept stating protect the NHS as part of our COVID, oh, can I even say that? As part of our, COVID, I'm going to say, I don't care, I'm going out there, I'm going to just say what I'm going to say. Journey. Now, when this whole thing happened, I remember it all going down like in March 2020, and I remember how the whole thing kind of rolled out, and I remember paying attention a lot because I was very curious to see how the government was going to deal with this. For me, it wasn't a massive thing. I was kind of like, you know what, Jesus is still on the throne, Jesus is still alive, like whatever happens, God's got this. But it was interesting to observe like what's happening in the world as a result of it though. And one thing that I found especially interesting was the fact that Boris kept saying, protect the NHS, protect the NHS. And I was like, why does he keep saying protect the NHS? Like, he's not saying protect our key workers. He's not saying protect our ability to have healthcare or strong healthcare or protect strong healthcare. He was saying protect the NHS, and something about it was just niggling me in the back of my mind. And the more that I've thought about it, the more that I quite quickly came to the conclusion of what I feel like Boris was actually saying. And I think if just brace yourself for what I'm going to say, because you might think what I'm about to say is going to sound very outlandish, but I'm going to explain why I believe this is the case. I believe Boris is saying protect the NHS because he feels, and he and others want to, obviously the NHS is a business, let's just go there. Everything is a business, every industry, it's almost even more so the governmental ones these days anyway, are businesses. And so when they say protect the NHS, when he's saying protect the NHS, he's assuming that, this is my opinion, right? But I feel like he's assuming that we as the public are going to assume he means the things I said before, protect the healthcare workers, This is why not so many people even start coming into the hospital, although they should have, because if you're not well, you should go to the hospital. So please, if you're not well, I'm not actually, I don't know if I should say you should go to the hospital. I don't trust hospitals. I don't trust the healthcare system at all. Anyway, he's like, protect the healthcare system, which would make sense because obviously, those were the people on the front line of this war, if you want to think about it. The key workers in the hospitals are the ones who are dealing with all the potential patients with this thing, and they're the ones who, if that whole system derails, then it could really derail everything, which I understand and I appreciate. However, I don't think that's what he meant. I think that's what he knew, and he and the powers that be knew we would perceive it as. But what I really think is, I really feel like what he was saying is, they want to protect this business, the NHS, because guys, the NHS is the biggest employer in the world, apparently NHS is the biggest employer in the world, which I can kind of believe. The NHS is massive, and obviously it's public and whatever, but we don't really see, like, it's not like you get sent a report that like, this is how much your taxes have helped in the country this year, which obviously it's a bit unrealistic to maybe have somebody sitting there doing that. But then again, maybe somebody could do that on a larger scale. That would be kind of nice, because I do think a lot of us paying taxes and stuff, it's just like, well, I would kind of like to see where that money is actually going, like more specifically, especially if, like, you're not really utilizing those services. Obviously, they're going to help others, and that's awesome. But I'm just like, I just want to know that it's actually going to help others and not just to be in you guys' pockets up there, in the 1%, if you know what I'm talking about. And by the way, I'd just like to say that I have nothing against rich people or people who are wealthy and wealth as a whole, or even, I don't have anything against that, because I really believe, like, if people have done well, for the people who've done well for themselves and they've worked hard to get their riches, then good on you. A lot of people have been born into wealth, they can't help it, but what you can help is what you choose to do in whatever situation that you're born into, whether that be in the 1% or wherever, right? And I'm not saying that anything's easier or not easier or harder for anybody else, because I can't say that either. But what I will say is, these guys, this is a business. Like, they run this stuff as a business. And I think, I know people who worked in the NHS for years and years and years and years, and there's so many issues that have always been in existence and are still in existence to this day, to the point where it's like, the more I hear about it, the more I'm like, I want to know where this money's getting spent, because I'm hearing from all different angles that, and this is not just in the NHS, this is across the board. If you look at, like, a lot of these more governmental things. If you think of even like the school system and stuff like that, and how, you know, why is Marcus Radford is his name, having to do the whole free school meals thing and stuff like that, it's becoming clearer and clearer to me that all of this is just business, and it's not really about like the people. They want us to believe it's about the people, and they use language. Like, language is a very powerful tool, and I talk about this a lot. They use language that convinces us of certain things because we are inclined to assume the best of people. And that's why if there's anything you take away from this video, don't assume the best of people. Don't do it, because they are hoping you're going to assume the best in them. So when they give you the worst, you don't even see it. That's like the quickest way to deceive you as a person. Like, make something seem like it's such a good thing. And then of course we care about each other because everybody cares, because you want to believe you're a good person. And that's the thing. That's why I said we should stop believing in good people. Because you want to believe you're a good person, that means you're inclined to want to believe other people are good people as well. But let's just stop doing that. Like, I'm not saying that everybody's like horrendously bad, but you know, you're going to be a good person to some people and a bad person to some people. You're going to be selfish in some ways and selfless in other ways. And I think honestly, without God and the things that he's built within us, I don't think that we would ever be selfless at all. I think we would actually become more and more selfish over time. And you find that people who can be selfish and get away with it. The only thing is, a lot of people can't be selfish and get away with it. But if you can get selfish and get away with it, that's how that 1% is existing. I'm not going to lie. They're existing because they can be selfish and get away with it. And this is one of the ways that they use it. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on the fact that when Boris was saying protect the NHS, and this is what I feel like he was saying. Oh my gosh, I just realized I didn't close the window. Sorry guys, that's just nature and all that. But yeah, so when I realized he was saying protect the NHS, this is when I was like, Boris, I don't trust you. Why are you always saying protect the NHS? And all of a sudden it just hit me. The more that I realized, the more that I'm realizing, the more I'm researching about stuff, the more I'm realizing that every single industry that we look into is a business. Like, it's someone just cares about it as a business. I did a video about Savage X Fenty. Please check that out if you want to. And I was talking about how, you know, that again, it was way more, in my opinion, from what I've seen and researched, it's way more about being a business than it is even being about even a brand. And obviously a brand can get away with it more, but how much more scary if what I'm saying is true and the National Health Service is way more about business, which I feel like it is. If you see how many things are not funded, if you see how much understaffing that there is, how pathetic, to be honest, the staff are being paid. When they tried to give them that pathetic 1% increase, they deserved way more than that. I think a lot of us would have been happy for the NHS to be given a higher percentage. And again, all they have to do is convince us that this is all the money we had, and we just believe them, even though we haven't seen any proof of that. Anyways, I don't want to go on and on and on about it, but that's what I think Boris meant by protect the NHS. Basically meant I need to protect this business, and as a prime minister and as whoever he is, as a part of whatever he is, I have to protect this business. And that's just that, pretty much. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, do you agree with me? Do you think I'm like coming out of this with just some crazy stuff? Just let me know what you think in the comments. Also, hit the like button. I would love to hear, by the way, from you, if you're not from the UK, what your perspective is on this stuff. Because I know, like, looking at us in the UK, I feel like being here and then looking at things from here must be totally different. So I'd love to hear guys' thoughts. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you're enjoying my content. Thank you so much to all of you who have been subscribing, by the way. I appreciate it so much. And there's so much more content coming. I've got so much to talk about. I'm going to be getting into all the nitty gritties on here. Feel free, if you want, to send me any video suggestions. If you do send a suggestion, I think some of you have been sending me some suggestions, but I'm not 100% sure if that's what you've done. So if you are doing that, just let me know. Like, just say something like how you suggest I do a video about ... because sometimes I'm not sure if that's what you're saying. But anyways, other than that, God bless you all. I'll see you next time. Sorry about the window being open, and goodbye.